So I see there is a transition, right? So what made you to come or become a business analyst or come into IT?
Yeah.
So was there that happened uncertainly or was it your plan? Please walk us through the project that you're currently working. Can I say that your project is in a way where the customers can do payments by themselves?
As you mentioned that you have worked with multiple stakeholders, as I explained the racematic to us. We are like engaging the P1 stakeholder, this is the one part. And second part, you have to engage the development team.
Yes.
How you are doing that?
According to you, what kind of skills they need to possess in order to get into IT industry as a business analyst? So it looks like your designation has also changed. You started as associate BA and BA, and now you're a senior.
Senior.
Where you want to see yourself in 5 years?
Analyzing, documenting, and presenting. All these things we are looking in the business analyst.
Great.
See, gathering part, analyzing part, we can understand.
Yes.
What challenges you face when documenting the requirement? You got a chance to work in all the documentation on like BRD, FRD, stories, everything.
Yes.
Did any time in your entire career, any time happen that you could not provide the requirements on the time or your is not assigned, so that the team has moved on? Did this happen any time?
What would be your expectations from us?
So I think it was a friendly interview and I had a good time.
Was it tough?
Yeah. I'm tough, but I'm expecting good results.
Please come.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you guys?
Nice. From where are you coming?
I'm coming from Hyderabad itself. Yeah, I stay in Manikonda.
Good.
Thanks for taking time
Thank
and
you.
coming to the interview.
Thank you.
So we are going through your profile, and I see you have 5 years as business analyst.
Yes.
Right? And prior to that, you had 3 years as SME.
Yes.
So into other
Correct.
department altogether. Okay. Yeah, your resume is quite impressive. Probably that's the reason we picked up and called you to
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. So, Aslam, shall we start?
Yeah. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Hi, my name is Santosh and I have total of 8 years of experience in total overall experience. In that, my last 5 years, I have a business analyst experience. I worked on various projects ranging from banking and a little bit in e-commerce as well. Prior to my business analyst role, I used to work in as a marketing guy. Okay, I used to work on some marketing in a banking products. Then I learned business analyst skills and I'm now a business analyst. And I'm working on currently on a project which is based out of banking. Okay, we are developing a payment application for a local bank here in India.
Understood. So how was the transition for you?
Yeah, it was good. Okay. If you look at initially when I became a business analyst, a lot of my experience from what I have learned in the banking was very useful. I understood what all the daily banking operations are there. Like for suppose in a bank, we have so many different products and services. I have a knowledge about all of them. Okay. And I have a good knowledge on working systems. Like we work on core banking systems like Finacle and FlexCube. So I was even part of some of the development activities which had. Then slowly I transitioned into the business analyst role and I understand the features and functionalities of these applications and their implications on the business processes. So due to this, I was easily able to transition into the business analyst role.
Understood. So currently then what are your roles and responsibilities as a BA?
Currently, I'm working on a project which is a new project, completely fresh project. Mm-hmm. In this new project, we have to understand the client's requirements. Why they started this project is the core responsibility of mine. So I had a lot of interactions with the various stakeholders, business stakeholders. We also had a product owner, so I worked very closely with him to understand what is the crux of the business problem. Then I have gathered requirements by performing a lot of elicitation techniques. Then I gathered requirements, I have documented them, I have analyzed these requirements, and I have written user stories, product backlog creations. Then I explain these to our developers and I ensure all these requirements are properly developed and been executed. This is my role at a high level.
Nice, impressive.
So I see there is a transition, right? So what made you to come or become a business analyst or come into IT?
Yeah.
So was there that happened uncertainly or was it your plan to shift your career to IT into business analysis?
After working in this marketing role, I understood things in a very detailed way by sitting in the business side. But I also observed that most of the businesses are spending a lot of money in IT projects. Okay, continuous developments are happening, enhancements are happening. So a lot of BAs used to come into my office space. They used to understand our business processes. So somewhere I got interested to the business analyst role. I interacted with them. I took some inputs from them that even can I also become, I'm from non-IT, right? So can I also become a business analyst? So they have really supported me. They have showed me some kind of a guidance. Then I did some online courses and I transitioned myself into a business analyst role.
Nice. Right. So, please walk us through the project that you're currently working. You said you guys are working on a payment system, right?
Yes.
So, what is the payment system is all about, and tell us something about your project.
Surely. So you can see in IT industry, there is a lot of fintech that is giving a lot of competition to the banks, existing banks. There are so many fintech companies right now in this space. So our business also, they want to bring a very unique payment system so that the customers can have a hassle-free payments. Okay, they can automate their payments using our systems which are inbuilt in the bank. So our currently we're working on the retail operations. So we have a very good customer base in the retail base. So these retail customers have a lot of payments towards their loans, existing loans, personal loans, home loans, and they have credit cards. So we have to understand all these products. How are the payments that can be made to these existing services? So I have to understand all these processes. I have to understand the various stakeholders involved in this. Okay, and that is stakeholder analysis was my first thing. So here I understood. I have met during the kickoff meeting only. I met a lot of stakeholders. I have prepared a stakeholder list, segregated them into the RACI matrix called who are all the relevant people, who are the people who are in the RACI matrix. I have divided them. And then I started gathering requirements with the responsible people. R stands for responsible, right? So I met all the responsible stakeholders, collected requirements from them. Okay. And then I got these requirements analyzed by the people, approved people. Then if there's any conflict between the responsible guy and the accountable, yeah. So I have always also consulted the relevant stakeholders to understand if the responsible stakeholders are given the current requirements. Okay, then I always informed the highest level of stakeholders. So this was my initial job. Okay, so gathering requirements from the stakeholders was a very tough job, and my estimations in the project were almost 10 to 20% of the time was given to me to gather requirements, and I had a team of 3 people. We together used to work on this business requirements.
So you made sure your stakeholders are aligned.
Yes.
With regards to the requirements.
Yes. In the banking, there are so many departments, right from the teller department, the customer operations department, to underwriting team, to the management team. There's so many departments in the bank. So we had to meet all of them, gather requirements. We have to listen to all of their concerns. Then only we can confirm on these requirements.
Can I say that your project is in a way where the customers can do payments by themselves rather than visiting any bank?
Yes. Current the system which the bank current has, the Agile system which the bank is little bit it's on an outdated one. Okay, like we can call it as a legacy system. Okay, so it's a legacy system which we have. Now we want to upgrade it. We want to bring in new analytics tools. We want to integrate some new APIs with it, and we also want to use cloud systems. So in the backend side, in the server side, we have a lot of changes. Okay, and for the customer also, we ensure that they have a hassle-free payment system. Every time they get notified on what all payments are coming up and how to make those payments in an easier way. This is what we have developed in the new system.
As you mentioned that you have worked with multiple stakeholders, as I explained the RACI matrix to us. So multiple stakeholders might have been there. So not each and every stakeholder is easy. Okay, we have very challenging,
difficult stakeholders.
Difficult stakeholders will be there. How will you handle with them?
Yeah. So definitely, see, what is the project all about? Project is something which is a technology change in the organization. So we as a business analyst have to initiate this change, and we know that most of the people are not receptive towards the change. We don't like change. We want to go with the existing systems, even if they are legacy systems. So we have to educate these stakeholders. We have to ensure that whatever project we are making, we're bringing the change. It's very useful for the organization, and if the organization doesn't really impart this change, then it will be an outdated system, and there's always not a competitive edge. Okay, the organization will not have a competitive edge. So if the stakeholders support our technology team, our business analyst team, then definitely they will be appreciated, and they can also move towards the next level. So like this, we motivate them. We bring up with some positive points about the project, and in case if they are not accepting, then we become more assertive, and we might even escalate it with their relevant teams and ensure that the requirements are given in the proper timelines.
When multiple stakeholders are there, when you will say that my requirement is the highest priority and my requirement is highest priority.
Yeah.
So if someone is coming with both the same requirements and the same priority challenge, which one will pick up? How will you do it?
So it's not my responsibility to prioritize the requirements. It is a product owner who has a vision of the product that needs to be developed. So I work very closely with the product owner and ensure that make him responsible for prioritization of all the backlog items. So every sprint we have a refinement meeting. In this refinement meeting, the product owner comes up with all the list of items which needs to be covered in the next upcoming sprint.
How often you connect with the POs and stakeholders?
Definitely, almost weekly we connect at least 3 to 4 days, because I have a lot of work with them to gather requirements, to prioritize the stories, to ensure that whatever is developed by the developers, are they correct? Are they reaching to their standards? So we have regular meetings, okay, and we work in agile mode. So we don't wait for all the requirements to be gathered. Even at least 30 to 40% requirements are ready. The development process starts, and I start gathering the remaining requirements, like the remaining 60 to 70%. So it's a continuous development and checking with the business teams.
When you mentioned about the prioritizing the requirement, what techniques are you using currently prioritizing your requirements?
Prioritizing. We use MOSQ analysis. Okay, MOSQ is the best one. So we understand out of all the requirements, which are the must-have requirements, which are the should-have requirements, which are the could-have, and which are the won't-have requirements. Again, once we prioritize them, I write all the requirements in an RTM, requirement traceability matrix. Then I prioritize them according to the product owner's. I mark which is a must-have requirement, should-have requirement. Then again, during the sprint, again we have a estimation process. Okay, during the estimation sprint planning process. Okay, so we again prioritize out of these must-have requirements which should be taken in the current sprint. Then we estimate how much time it would take, how many sprints it would take. For suppose if we start building up with a registration page of an application or a login page of an application, so how many sprints it would take. Again, these estimations are given by the developers. Like this, we start rating the system.
When the process understands a continuous requirement is
Yes.
Understood. So, how we handle with our development team then?
Yeah.
We are like engaging the PO and stakeholder. This is the one part. And second part, you have to engage the development team.
Yes.
How you are doing them?
See, the developers are the real people who develop this application. So me as a business analyst should give them ultimate clarity on what needs to be developed. So until and unless I get the clarity on the requirements, I can't go and confidently present these requirements to them. So before I go to the developers, I ensure all the requirements are properly documented and they're all presented to the business team. Okay, then I give my own perception about each and every requirement, how important it is, what are all the layers that needs to be covered by writing proper user stories and acceptance criteria. Okay, then only I go to the developers. And developers are since they are the ones who have to develop it, they ask so many questions to me. Then probably if I know the answers, I can answer them. But in case if I don't know, then again I connect with my relevant stakeholders. I know this question pertains to which particular stakeholder. I bring them into a meeting, and they together can discuss on that particular query, and they can resolve this session. So I arrange these meetings as well.
Okay. So was there a situation in your 5 years career where you guys are deploying requirements, okay, and your stakeholder or any product owner is not happy with the outcome. So, were there a situation where they're trying to blame you, and how you have escaped, or how did you deal with that kind of situation? Because you as a BA, you need to take care of the requirements, right?
Yeah.
End of the day, you are kind of proxy product owner in a way.
Correct.
So, how would you tackle these kind of situations?
So all our Scrum teams are very matured people. Okay, we understand that sometimes we may not reach their expectations. That's why we have every sprint we have a review meeting. We call it as a sprint review meeting. In these review meetings, we properly gather the feedback from the business teams. If they are not liking any of our output, okay, that we give a demo of what is being developed or what is in the progress of development. We present to them, and in case if they don't like, we take it in a very positive mode and we try to bring those changes and bring those updations in the next sprint. Okay, so always we take their feedback in a very positive way because they are the ones on the business side and we have to impress them at any way, any cost.
Makes sense. So, were you guys following Agile Scrum methodology or what?
Yes. Our organization believes in giving a very good customer satisfaction. So we follow Agile and Scrum framework. We follow change requests. Okay, we follow change requests at a very latest stages of the development as well. So we follow 100% Agile and Scrum framework.
Okay. So, what do you think? How Agile is better than Waterfall? What is that one point that you have liked so far in your career?
So waterfall, as your previous question was on the customer feedback, right? So if the customer gives you a feedback and doesn't like your product, so that is the main reason. Waterfall, we get a feedback in a very late stages. Okay, by the time they give the feedback and they see the product, okay, the time runs away and we can't really. We are not in a position to make those changes. Okay, so that's why in Agile we develop things in iterations. We don't wait until the entire requirements get freezed. So we are always open to newer requirements. We are open to new changes. It's a lightweight, and there's a documentation also. When compared to Waterfall, Agile has a minimal documentation which focuses on giving the customer the end product. So these are the points I like in Agile and Scrum framework.
Okay. So you're talking about documentation.
Yes.
So what kind of artifacts or documents that you have generated as a BA in your projects?
Currently, I'm working in Agile and Scrum framework. We believe in not having very exhaustive and large documentations as of now. So whatever requirements I get, I ensure that I put them in RTM. Okay, in a requirement traceability matrix, that's a place where me and my business team always checks out what all requirements are to be developed in progress and what are already completed, what are not yet started. The RTM is the best place to look at all the requirements. Then these requirements again, like we have to unfold them and we have to write in it in a more detailed way in a product backlog. So I write user stories for each and every. For suppose in my current project, for a login feature, I have written around 40 user stories. Okay, so because it requires so many user management, so many users will be there to log in, so many methods of logins will be there. So I have written 40. So documentation is huge when it comes. All these user stories, product backlog, we upload in Jira. Okay, and we assign these stories to the relevant developers, and we track their progress on the Jira tool itself.
Okay, so why are we even creating RTM when we have Jira in place? Like, you can create epics and convert them into users.
Yes, we can do that. But for my tracking purpose,
personal way of tracking.
And because I have to ensure that all the requirements are properly delivered by the.
But the official tool is
Jira itself.
Jira itself. Yeah.
So when you mentioned you're getting the shorter cut back in the Agile, do you think which one is best? Waterfall methodology is best or Agile methodology is best as well?
Waterfall is good for the technology team. So we have ample time to gather the requirements, and we don't entertain the business teams coming in the middle and disturbing us that sorry, the requirement has changed and all. But if for us as a now globally we all want to give the best customer satisfaction. So I think Agile is best. Agile gives a lot of customer satisfaction. It listens to the customers' problems. There's a lot of empathy in Agile methodology. So I like Agile itself. We are all moving towards Agile.
So what Scrum ceremonies you follow?
We follow first a sprint planning meeting, and the sprint planning meeting, the next coming sprints, what all items we have to work on. Then we have daily Scrum calls where we track the progress of each and every item that is there in that particular sprint. Then we have daily Scrum. Then we have sprint review meetings. So this is done with the help of the product owner. We demonstrate what is being developed in that particular sprint. Okay, and then we have retrospective meetings. So here we understand what all things went well, what all things did not go well. Okay, what could have been done better. And then we have backlog refinement meetings. These are some of the Scrum ceremonies we organize in our daily projects.
So basically in sprint retrospective, you mentioned what did well and what did not went well. So can you mention a few things which did not went well and how did you recover it?
Sure. Most often, the things that could have been that went well are the ones like the business analyst has properly explained a particular requirement and he has written everything in that particular user story, all the acceptance criterias, everything that could have gone well. But when it comes to like the developer needs some more information and he needs some sample data or the UX and UI designs, which could be taking a lot of time. Okay, we have to deliver something in the given sprint. So there's a lag between the requested information versus the information which we got. There could be a lot of delay in that. So that could be things which could have done in a better way.
So, as you know, currently you're working as a business analyst, but we knowing that requirements are constantly changing.
Yeah.
Every time the requirements will change. So, how will you handle that situation?
Yeah, in Agile methodology, we have to understand and we follow a change request process. Okay, so definitely we entertain the business teams when they're coming up with a change. We don't deny that, okay, but we follow a certain process. We understand the impact analysis because of this change. We understand how important is this change and what would be the impact on the overall project with respect to timelines, with respect to budget, with respect to any critical resources are required, any new technologies are required. All these things are being considered in the impact analysis if any new change is coming. So first thing is we document all the change in a change request log and we present it to our development team and do impact analysis. We also do feasibility study. Do we need any more resources? All these things we do and then we take it forward.
So what is your mindset when you are gathering the requirement from the clients?
The mindset is to go to the crux of the problem. Okay, so many a times the business teams themselves don't know what is the problem. Okay, they like for suppose if we have some stomach ache. Okay, the first thing is we get the pain. Okay, which is a symptom. Okay, they tell the symptoms. Like for suppose in a business sales are not happening. Okay, it's a symptom. But why the sales are not happening? Why you're getting stomach ache? It could be because of you ate something wrong. So that is the real problem. So I get into the crux of the problem by asking more and more questions. I follow that 5W1H method, wherein I ask a lot of questions. I understand to get into the crux of the problem. This is my mindset.
Now you gather the requirement, that is mindset. Then what is your mindset when you're trying to explain those requirements to the development team?
Yeah, to explain the requirements, I have already made a template of things. I made a script of myself. Okay, so the developer has to resolve this particular problem. Okay, in order to resolve this problem, first of all, I have to explain the problem. Then I have to unfold that in how to resolve that. Okay, and definitely the solution architecture team is also involved. They give us a blueprint of how this particular problem can be resolved. Okay, they can get into those UML diagrams and use case diagrams as well. And the design teams understands like how the user journey can happen. Okay, and all these things cumulatively explain to the developer so that they develop the solution.
Yeah, looks like you have 360-degree understanding on business analysis. So, what do you think, according to you, what kind of skills any participant or who's trying to become a BA, according to you, what kind of skills they need to possess in order to get into IT industry as a business analyst?
From my 5 years experience, I have gained the skills of the business knowledge we need to have. Okay, in any business, definitely we have to get the knowledge of a product and service. Okay, what are all the different products and services that particular organization has? For suppose in banks, we have different products which could be relevant to credit cards. It could be relevant to the lending systems. It could be payment systems like this. All these products we have to understand, and then the different software applications to work on these products. We have core banking systems. We have payment applications. We have different user journey relevant analytics tools. So these also we have to get knowledge on. After that, we end of the day, business analyst is a managerial job. Okay, so the process of developing a software application requires a lot of management. Okay, we have to manage the customers' expectations. We have to manage the requirements from them. All the requirements we have to gather and manage them, put it in a right format and deliver them. And we have to look at the deliverable side as well. The technology team, if they are able to develop all those things. Okay, so all this management stuff. If any person who has good management skills, I think can play a very good business analyst role. So all these things I picked up in my last 5 years.
Okay. So it looks like you have worked in two domains so far, banking and
E-commerce.
So banking is your major chunk of work. So how did the switch happen? How were you able to cope up or learn banking knowledge?
Yeah. So initially when I switched, I was very skeptical whether I would make it in this new domain. But what I realized was for a software development, for an IT guy, every domain remains same except healthcare, I believe. Because end of the day, we have to develop a software application for a particular business. Okay, the functional requirements might change, but most of the NFRs would remain same. The non-functional requirements would be same. Every business wants to give the best output applications in terms of time, in terms of security, in terms of reliability, in terms of expandability. These things would remain same. There's no big change. And the philosophy of IT industry is to simplify things, give the best to customer satisfaction. These all things remain same. Only few functional requirements and the particular domain knowledge will remain different, and those we can pick it up in like 2 to 3 months. Any for that, say any project when we move to from one project to another, even in banking also. For suppose I moved from payments to lending systems, so I have to understand the lending systems. What is lending? How do we do lending and all? So every project is different from the previous project.
So it's no big deal.
Yes.
So it looks like your designation has also changed. You started as associate BA and BA, and now you're a senior.
Senior.
So what's your roadmap for upcoming 5 years? Where you want to see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah, in the future, I want to become and go towards product side. Okay, I want to develop some amazing products for the organizations. So I will remain mostly towards the product side and also work with the delivery teams in order to give beautiful products. That is what is my philosophy. In terms of my personal things, I want to work on more scaled projects, more scalable projects, which are on a bigger in terms of budgets, okay, where the delivery and the regulations, okay, more complex projects I want to work on the coming days.
Did you get any chance to go work at your client place?
Yes, I worked in UK for a brief period of time. It was a data privacy project. We had to in European Union, data privacy is taken into very big consideration. So to understand the requirements, I had to work with the legal teams over there. Okay, I had to rub my shoulders with my CTOs, COs to understand the implications if these regulatory products are not been delivered properly. So I worked with them and gathered all the requirements. I understood how technology is bridging, helping these businesses scale in such a way. So I got an opportunity.
All right.
So as a VA, what are your two strengths and two weaknesses?
Two strengths and
Two weaknesses.
Strengths, I would say that I'm very empathetic. I understand the customer's problems. I get into their shoes and understand. So I have a lot of patience to understand their problems. Okay, so they're coming up with a very big hope to the technology team to resolve their business problems and give a unique software solution to them. So these are my two strengths. One is empathy and one is patience. The weaknesses are earlier I used to, if any stakeholder is not giving or is not meeting to my expectations and giving the requirements, and I would really get upset earlier. But now I have changed myself, okay, because there's a saying, right? Rome was not built in a day. So any beautiful software application can't be built in an overnight. We have to really work very closely with the different teams, and then only we can work on it. So this was my weakness, and I have overcome it.
Nice, good one. So, see, gathering part, analyzing part, we can understand.
Yes.
What challenges you face when documenting the requirement?
Documentation has now become very easy with a lot of AI tools. Earlier, to understand the requirements especially from the US and UK customers, okay, we had to be on our edge to collect those requirements. But now, with a lot of AI tools and all, the documentation has become so easy. I don't really worry about documentation at all. So we can all these grammatical mistakes and all in my early career I used to do, but now with these new AI tools and all, it has made my job very easy.
Nice, good. So you got a chance to work in all the documentation, like BRD, FRD, user stories, everything.
Yes.
Nice. So what is your team strength?
My team strength is currently in a project, in the project which I'm working on the payments. We have in the Scrum team we have 8 to 9 people, okay, which comprises of business analysts, are 2 BAs, me and another guy. Okay, we have 3 developers. One is a front end and a back end and an architect. We have 2 testers and 1 design guy, UX and a UI team guys. Okay, almost 9 people.
So you're
Scrum master.
So you're able to handle the 90 members.
Yes. They're all matured, and we need not really handle them. Everyone knows their responsibility and they pick it up and they deliver. And these developers have again their sub teams. Okay, so they understand, they join our planning meetings, they understand what all should be developed, and they take it to their teams and deliver them.
Did any time in your entire career, any time happen that you could not provide the requirements on the time or post is not assigned, so that the team has no work? Did this happen any time?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
For example, because of constant changing in the requirements, you could not write the use stories, or you fall off time. Now today the developer has to work, they don't have any stories to work on.
Okay.
So this happened anytime?
Yeah, sometimes it happened, and we were always taking the feedback from our managers that when the developer should always have a good chunk of user stories. Okay, so that's why we have some buffer time. Okay, so we don't start off immediately with the development activities. Once we have a good chunk of requirements ready in the backlog, then only we give a green signal to the developers to start working.
Okay, understood. Got it.
Okay. So, what would be your expectations from us?
Yeah, so I'm expecting a very good project from you and a lot of support in terms of me to learn this new domain, okay, which I believe is into gaming, I believe. So I'm really interested, and there's a lot of scope in the gaming industry. There's a lot of people. So just give me some time to pick it up and give me some challenging projects and support. That is what is expected.
Sure, definitely. Because as a BA, we know like the crux of the work will be the same. It's only the domain we will be differentiating. The same, the techniques which are applying for other domain, you have to apply with
Correct.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's nice speaking to you.
Yeah, thank you.
You have anything on?
I'm good. If you have any questions,
Yeah, I have. I just want to know more about where would I be working in your current organization, which projects I'm going to be allocated. I just want to know high level about it.
So basically what we are doing is, as you know, like you mentioned the gaming company. So there's a new project which is going on. We have to automate that process.
Okay.
For example, you might have seen online betting games which is going on. So we are trying to build a new platform for them.
Okay.
As of now, we have the legacy system. We are moving to the new one.
Oh.
We are moving out of the legacy system. So we want a VA to understand the legacy system perfectly the old version, and he had to comply with the new one.
Got it.
So he has to understand the requirement, he should have the knowledge of some sports, so that better understand the sport. That is the case he can write the requirements very clearly.
Okay.
So the stakeholder engagement, requirement gathering, analyzing, documenting, and presenting. All these things we are looking in the business analyst.
Great. Yeah,
Like a lot of integration activities going on. So you'll be working with cross-functional teams.
Okay.
So, but yeah, as you said, you will get ample amount of support. Probably once you got selected. So yeah. I think
Thanks.
that's all right then.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. All these.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
So, Aslam, what do you think about Santosh's performance?
I think he really did very well actually, because whatever the things we asked, he might not be 100% up to the mark, but still whatever has been delivered, it was good. At least as being a BA, what are the basic functionalities he explained, I think it was enough and
Looks like
good.
he has some strong foundation on
Exactly, yes.
business analysis. And probably I also have positive feedback only. If we pull him up into a project, I think he can.
Definitely he can he contribute a lot in our projects.
Yeah. Since they were working on payment systems, we are also integrating payment gateways
yes.
in our application.
Yes.
So I think that should be a good fit.
Definitely that should be, because whenever you're asking us, trying to look at is the way he's analyzing the things.
Yeah.
The way he mentioned how he's going to understand the problem statement, solution, and
Yeah.
benefits,
Yeah.
the strategy is planning and all.
Yeah.
And I could see enthusiasm in it, because it's, the ways I could see in his eyes, he's like most interested actually.
Understood.
The way he came and the way, the sort of communication, soft communication.
Innocence is also there.
Innocence is also there. So it's not only about technical and logical, we also look at the behavioral skills also. I think in every aspect, he will be fitting into a project.
Sure. So yeah, we'll process his profile for
Sure.
next round.
Next round.
And we'll see how it goes.
How things goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, hi Santosh. That was very good one.
Yeah.
Tell us about your experience.
Sure. So the interview went well. They were typically looking for a business analyst who can pick up projects and who can work both with the business teams and the technology teams. So they assessed if I'm the right fit. They understood whether I have the concepts, basic knowledge of business analyst. Since I worked from last 5 years on multiple projects, at least 3 projects I've worked in my 5 years, I have confidently told my experience, how I used to gather requirements, how I used to work on those requirements, how I used to analyze them, how I used to document them and present them to the developers. So they assessed my attitude as well. What sort of person am I? Am I going to really withstand this particular project, this particular challenge? And they have understood that my experience, how am I able to easily switch from one domain to another domain. And they also checked my knowledge on Agile and Scrum framework. And they looked at my documentation skills. They also gave me some scenarios, how I would behave in those scenarios. Like this, they have asked me several questions. They almost took it for 30 minutes. There were 2 people in the panel, and both were having very good, and they were very friendly. They have given me ample time to think. Whenever I was unable to recollect my answers, they gave me ample time to do. So I think it was a friendly interview, and I had a good time.
Was it tough?
Yeah, I'm tough, but I'm expecting good results.
Will this be helpful for your future?
Yes, definitely. So I'm expecting a positive output of this interview. I'll stay very positive, and I'm also preparing for the next round of interview. I think we all should be positive, right? I'm expecting a positive result, so I will prepare for the next round of interview in a better way. I already know most of the concepts, but it's just that I'll brush up, I'll revise all the concepts.
How confident were you on the interview? Well,
Yeah, I was little half up, so I was a bit confident, and at the same time I was anxious whether I would answer all of their questions. But it wasn't a big surprise for me. Most of the questions are the ones which I prepared already, and I was able to answer them.
great. All the best for future.
Thank you so much. Yeah.